I am the headmaster of the Halls of Erudition. This is my compatriot, Master Trent Icky-thon. Trent Icky-thon.
Trent Icky-thon.
Sure it is.
Most of my contact has been with Omid. Trent seems just creepy. Using these operatives perhaps as a mediation tool, maybe we can bring this conflict to a close. Allura and the others kind of look about each other curiously. Trent nods with a smile, his eyes falling onto Caleb briefly.
Ooh.
Oh no.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Of course, Martinet. Good. I'll see you then. He turns around and exits down the staircase. As you guys begin to follow, Trent kind of saunters up alongside your group.
Stand in front of Caleb.
Yeah, I stand on the other side.
Impressive business, isn't it? You've come far from simple self-swords and pit fighters. Looking towards Yasha. Especially you, Brett. And then just continues walking, following after Ludinus.
I don't like him. Should I go kill him?
No, probably not.
Just I don't like him. He rubs me the wrong way.
Maybe you should act on impulse.
I was making a bit of a joke, but...
Yeah.
As you guys...
I have to get Huh?
I was agreeing with Ford.
You said we were meeting with a Martinet. I thought we were supposed to be meeting with Trent Icky-thon, no?
No, Martinet.
Deleth.
Sorry.
Deleth, yes.
Oh, okay.
The head of the assembly.
Speaking of Trent, he did see Caleb. He called him by his real name. He seemed very calm about that. How do you feel? What do you want to do? Are we going through with this?
You know, I have spent a long time imagining how seeing him again would go, and I did not imagine that. I've spent years avoiding that. And we just walked in. I've imagined choking the life from that man a lot. And I think we need to work with him.
Will you be able to?
I am not comfortable with that idea, knowing how that feels. But...
Well, there is a lot at stake right now. I don't know if they are in unison within the assembly. It's hard to feel safe here.
It is hard to feel safe here.
Well, we're not safe here.
There is something to be said for playing the game. Taking this a few pieces down the road.
I honestly don't think we have much other choice.
We've done it successfully before. We did it in Jorhas. Now we have to do it again.
And what other option is there? We'll end up in a prison cell or dead.
Considering how the last 24 hours went, I feel pretty comfortable saying if he looks at you sideways, we will not leave enough of him to be found.
We have to work.
We could just do that. We could just kill him, chop him up into little tiny pieces, and then we escape to Jorhas and we never come back.
I suppose what I meant is we're going to try and keep you safe. And I think we can, is what I meant.
Oh.
I mean, but we could do,
Wow.
I'm not against that either.
Caleb is flashing back to the boat when Jester just sunk an axe into a dude's head.
Yeah, you just scream.
We do have Jester's option. Worst case
Sounds
scenario.
pretty dangerous.
I appreciate both sentiments, honestly, but we don't know what circumstances we're dealing with yet, and he is certainly not alone. Just the one man is very powerful, and he has a network of people.
Our goal is going to be getting you out of this city no matter what, though, as long as you know that. That's really beyond anything, at least for me, is to make sure that You're not ending here, under any circumstances.
Mr. Icky-thon.
Yes.
How long have you had this relic?
About a few weeks. We uncovered it, and we've been researching the extent of what it's capable of. With the rising conflict, we came to understand that this was one of the beacons that was so important to the dynasty. And if this was something that could be used as a weapon against us, it was necessary for us to ascertain information about how dangerous it would be, or if it could be used in our stead. Thankfully, that does not appear to be the case. It seems to be more important for them on a faith-based level, and as such does not serve much of a continued purpose for us. Hence the lack of interest in maintaining it under our banner.
So it's not.
How bad it might possibly end up.
I'm with you.
So you made that?
Yes. And he turns and sees he's going to like reach for it, but then sees not, instead like currently in the process of this. You've seen this before then?
What? No, what?
Heard
I have
rumors.
not seen it before.
Well, I'm just finding it curious that you have come here to confirm that something exists that you have not known it exists until you heard of it, not but the other day, and then arrive and immediately know exactly how to extend towards this device.
The magical act of touching. She's a curious girl.
I think you should know me better than to assume that I do not see intent where it's supposed to be, Bren. But I'm just curious. If you have encountered such a device before, your curiosity matches my own. And it's about being the bigger man.
Tell us a little bit more. Knowledge is power, you know that.
It is.
These properties, what are they?
Make a deception check for me. His gaze seems to almost reach into you in a cold and intrusive way, reading between the words and the intent, and you see a smile creep across his face. I don't think it's anything you wouldn't already know.
I would say if there's any other information you feel that we should know, just so that all cards are on the table, now would be the time to put forward anything that might be missing from this story, anything that when we're asked questions that we'll be able to fill in the answers for.
Certainly.
I think he's right, though. His previous poking about in the dynasty did not end well.
You misunderstand. I have not myself traveled to the dynasty.
No, you don't do that. You don't need to. You have help for that. Always help for that.
Not everyone is as helpful. Anyway.
Yes.
I believe everything is situated, Houdiness. Very much so. Thank you, Master Icky-thon.
We're going to kill them all right now, right? We're going to kick this thing off right now.
Roll initiative.
Houdiness kind of steps into this tension and goes, well, I think we should find our way to the next endeavor. Let us be off.
Hey, Trent.
Yes.
Might want to talk to Caduceus about getting some tea that might help stimulate your memory, help keep a little bit sharper, because we actually have met before.
I don't remember.
Oh. So now I know you were lying.
I do not believe there was a lie. I congratulated on your victory in the pit.
Yeah, you seem to just misplace that we had all met previously,
I
a
don't
moment
met a
ago.
handful of you.
I put my hand on my blade, on the handle of my blade.
And you apparently have been following an intriguing path on your own as well. I knew there was something special about you.
Just stop.
Anyway, we must continue preparations for the delivery should this go well. Have a good day.
Can you read minds?
Can I read minds?
Yeah.
Can you?
Can you?
You're a strange one. Are you reading my mind right now?
I'm trying to give you some thoughts. Tell me the first thing you think.
I think it's time we said goodbye.
He didn't want to say it though.
You hear the door behind you, and as you reach the landing above where the guards are, the Marnet turns and goes, "My apologies for the tension. I was afraid, given the history, things would be a bit emotional. Trent is a challenging individual. He has much utility and has been a long-standing, important member of the Assembly, but he is challenging."
Have you ever sat in on any of his lessons?
I've not sat in on them specifically, but he does what he deems necessary. Not all things necessary are easy.
Feelings, thoughts, a candid emotion.
I think he's not being entirely forthright with his knowledge or information about this, but I think we have more pressing matters. To press this individual right now would be a rabbit hole that would distract from something that is far more reaching, if you will. I can always deal with Trent after the fact.
Let us know when you do that, because I would like to help. If you need to get rid of him in any way.
There are far more useful ways of dealing with useful individuals than just getting rid of them.
Are you a lot more powerful than him?
It's challenging to compare power in the Assembly. We all have our unique talents.
Are you being humble?
I'm being honest.
Are we, yeah.
I don't mean to pry, Caleb, but he was a teacher for you?
I'm from here, near here.
I gathered that much.
I studied here. Icky-thon was one of many teachers, and then he became my main teacher. Private lessons. You've missed so much.
Yeah, I know.
Did he ever seem like nice to you, or was he always weird?
Sometimes. Sometimes, after being particularly harsh, he would apologize after.
That can be very confusing. It's fucked up. Especially if you have no one else to go to.
How much have you spoken to my master about me, I wonder?
I assume you're referring to Mr. Icky-thon.
Of course.
Only a little bit. He briefed me on your history, and I must say, it is rather impressive to see someone who has gone through, escaped, and shocked the chains of the Volstracker, and returned as you have with your friends.
Well, I am a disappointment to my teacher, I am sure, as well as many of my peers.
Your teacher's a disappointment to many others. He has his uses, but people are complicated, are they not?